What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dissect of the Dead, back with another video. So today's a bit of a rough day, and I haven't been making a lot of content lately, but I thought I'd come on here and share my thoughts on this. It's been a rough week for wrestling fans. I don't make a lot of wrestling content, but some of y'all see the wrestling content that I do make. Yeah, earlier this week we lost Ozzy Osbourne. He was what, 76, 71, something like that. I can't remember, but he was getting up there, but we lost him. He was a big part of the wrestling world, and even bigger part of the music world. And I remember discovering Ozzy whenever had been 12 years old, listening to Crazy Train. Actually, the first song I heard from him was on a show, Monday Night Raw. So that was rough. Ozzy was a legend, and yeah, I have a lot of a lot of fond memories of seeing Ozzy, on TV and listening to his music. And Ozzy Osbourne is an icon, and we lost two icons this week because at time of recording this morning we lost Hulk Hogan as well, which is so hard to fathom that we lost Hulk Hogan. He was 71, I think, as well. I know this is such a weird video for me to make because I hardly ever make these kind of videos, and I feel like I don't, every time somebody dies I can't just make a video about it, right? But I thought this was kind of like, this was a bummer. This was a bummer week for wrestling fans. I mean, Hulk Hogan was truly an American icon, right? One that not The Rock, John Cena, I don't even think Stone Cold Steve Austin could replicate that kind of star power. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin's debatable, right? It's Stone Cold. Stone Cold's a different story. But, I mean, the closest thing that we'll get to somebody as iconic as Hulk Hogan passing away is someone like Sting or Ric Flair, it's not unnatural. They were, both Ozzy and Hulk Hogan were pretty old. They were getting up there in age, and with the factor of like drugs and drug abuse and steroids and all that, like it's hard to say that it's really tragic, but it is sad. It's sad to see people go. It always is, right? But it's, what I like to think about is, damn, we had the privilege to live amongst these people, right? We had the privilege to be around the same time as Hulk Hogan, as Ozzy Osbourne, as Stan Lee, right? Like, all the iconic people that died, we have the privilege right now to live among them. That's every time I see The Undertaker. Undertaker was just at NXT a couple days ago, right? I didn't go to the show, right? But every time I see The Undertaker, I think to myself, I'm like, I am blessed that I got to be a part of the fan base of wrestling at a time when The Undertaker was wrestling, I didn't get to experience Hulk Hogan in his prime in the 80s or 90s, right? I experienced Hulk Hogan in his later life, in his TNA years. I honestly, I'm not going to comment too much on his controversies, mainly because, like, it ain't my place to talk about it, and I sure as hell ain't going on Twitter to find out what the cancel mob is going to say about him now that he's passed away, because Twitter's unhinged. But it is sad to see that his last like WWE appearance, he got booed out of the arena, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I do think he was flawed in his later days. I'm not going to sit here and bash Hulk Hogan. He's passed away now. It's it's disrespectful, but I do think that he did fabricate a lot. He did lie a lot, and I just don't think that he was definitely a controversial figure. But one thing that we can't take away from Hulk Hogan is that he was a icon unlike any other, right? The "I Am a Real American" theme song, the Hulkamania, the yellow banana look, right, with the red. You can't dismiss that kind of iconography, right? So it really sucks to see Hulk Hogan go. Sucks to see Ozzy go. I hope that, it's a weird thing because about 2 or 3 years ago, right? It was like, yeah, 2023. So it was 2 years ago that we lost Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt in the same week, right? and it was close around this time. It was around like the late July of 2023, right? It's kind of crazy how that works, but you know, let's hope that, God does not decide to release more wrestlers to heaven. Okay, and I also love that Hulk Hogan was a profound Christian. He always talked about his belief in God, and he was very specific about that. And so he passed away of a heart attack, but I believe that his soul has been redeemed. He's done a lot of messed up stuff, but you know what? All souls can be redeemed, in my opinion. But God bless Ozzy Osbourne. God bless Hulk Hogan. May they rest in peace. That's all I really got to say today, man. I got nothing much more to say. Yeah, it just sucks to see people like that go. But here's what I'll say, even if our heroes are flawed, they always say, never meet your heroes because you'll always be disappointed. Well, you could say that about Ozzy, you could say that about Hulk Hogan, but in my opinion, Ozzy was also a Christian as well, but in my opinion, I think we should become our own heroes. We should see these people that we see as like heroes and use them as inspiration to be better ourselves. That's what they've always kind of been there for, is to be better for ourselves. And we should be our own heroes and not rely on other people. And so when they go, we should honor them and not try to besmirch them. And so that's all I got to say is be your own hero, and that's what I've kind of learned to do is, but at the same time, do not dismiss what they have done for you. So that's all I got to say. Thank y'all for watching. Don't smoke crack, I guess. I don't know.